If you're an anime fan and a boxing fan, chances are Hajime no Ippo got you hyped to train at least once. It definitely gets me hyped. For anyone who doesn't know, the anime is about a shy kid named Ippo who gets bullied, but then he discovers boxing, and he realizes he's more than just a nerd kid. Think of it as Rocky meets Karate Kid. We quickly learn he becomes a talented boxer with ridiculous punching power, smashing through pads and his opponent's faces. He's also smart and quick and develops his own style, becoming a human wrecking ball. Not that kind of wrecking ball. His style is built around pressure and infighting, working on body shots and using his ridiculous power on the inside. So we're going to use Ippo as inspiration for some heavy bag training. These are flow drills that you can follow with me and move and hit like Ippo. The literal first step is we're going to work our half step because we want to just be able to get on the inside. And then we use that half step to follow through with a jab. This will allow us to follow up with the next shot, which is a cross or straight. We're in, jab, cross, in, jab, cross. Allow your movements to flow together nicely. Then we layer that with a lead hook. So we're gonna step in, jab, cross, hook. Notice I leave my rear foot planted. It's only my lead foot that gets me in close. And chain those punches smoothly. Allow each strike to set up the next. No need to rush, always reset, and then throw your combo with precision and speed. Now we can add in a slip. So we're doing the same thing, jab, cross, hook. So off of my hook, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset as if I'm slipping to my left. I will lead this into another setup later on. And that setup is a body shot that Ippo would be proud of. You're using that slip to load up the body shot. To mix it up, if you want, you can swap out that body shot for a hook on top. Ippo-Style requires him to be good at level changing, so we're going to work on this combo. Jab to the head, straight to the body, and hook back up on top. Changing levels makes you a little more unpredictable. So I'm simply going high, low, high. This adds another layer to your skills, and it adds a little more to your workout. Now you can easily land in a rear uppercut to the same combo. Since this combo gets you on the inside, just keep it nice and short and crisp. And you can easily swap in that uppercut for a rear hook. Just don't forget that level change between high, low, and then high again. And although most of these are power punches, still focus on precision and flow. A little bonus tip for the uppercut. What you want to do is you want to still throw the same mechanics as you would throw a cross. So my legs and hips are actually still moving the same way. It's just the extension is different. And now that we understand the mechanics, we're going to use a jab, cross, slip, uppercut combo. And just like we did with the hook before, we're using the slip to load the uppercut. And then, naturally, add in the lead hook. And like we've done previously, the lead hook can be replaced with the body shot. Now for some head movement. But in reality, it's actually our legs doing most of the work. Ippo is great at this, and we are going to do the same. We're going to focus on weight shifting. But to be more Ippo-esque, we're going to focus on weaving. So we're like ducking under, shifting left to right. But imagine you're shaping the letter U with your legs and hips, almost drawing it with your head. Once you get the hang of that, you use that U shape to land your hook and do it on each side. You imagine you're ducking under a punch and then throwing that hook as a counter. Then you can play around with alternating quickly between left and right. and try applying it into combos. Here I'm doing a jab cross, weave to the left, and land the lead hook. And conversely, I do the jab cross, weave to the right, and land the rear hook. And if you're a little more advanced, you can use the double weave. So here I go jab cross, weave to the right, weave to the left, and lead hook. And it's always okay to slow it down if you're having trouble with the movement. What's more important is working precision. And then it's all about repetition. I recommend working just one side at a time. Here I'm doing the weave to the right a few times, and then I work weave to the left. I like to do somewhere between 5 to 10 reps each side. And then you can mix it up by alternating right to left or left to right. Now we can't do an Ippo video without addressing the Dempsey Roll, which became one of his staple moves. The Dempsey Roll involves a weave, but in a figure eight form. So we're trying to use that figure eight to make ourselves a harder target to hit while we're moving forward. And while we're moving forward, we imagine we're kind of skating across. So we skate forward while shifting left to right. And when you nail that, you go for the speedy version. So you speed skate the movement. And of course, no skates are required for this movement. Using the heavy bag as a target, you can practice slowly moving towards it using the Dempsey Roll. Once you got the hang of it, you move in faster and add some strikes. But to be honest, it's a hard move to practice on a static heavy bag. Even Ippo usually does it on a moving target, like a pad holder. That way he can move around and find his target. So we're going to do an easier version, an alternative to the Dempsey Roll, if you will, where we really just shift and a slight switch. So we're doing it without using the figure eight motion. Notice how I'm just switching side to side. So I'm using that same skating mechanics as earlier, and I'm shifting left to right, but I'm focusing on the load. I load off of one leg to explode to the other. And then you can add the hooks to that motion. So how we're going to start, we're going to take a step in, throw the hook, and then shift and switch and land the hook on the other side. Again, start slow, step in, hook, shift, switch, and hook on the other side. Once you got the coordination, go quicker. Once you get that down, don't be afraid to add another strike right off of that last switch. Then try to mix it in with your combos. Throw some jab crosses and then try to use that switch in between. So let's put it all together into a free flow Ippo-style bagwork session. The focus should be on aggressive infighting. Use your footwork and angles to get on the inside, working those hard, powerful shots. Don't forget your level changes and using your slips to load up some of your heavy shots. So how can we fight like Ippo? It's about the infighting footwork, forward pressure, weight shifting, and all that will result in our speed and power on the inside. It becomes a high-paced training session, but you want to make sure that you're working your precision, just like Ippo does. He's powerful, but precise. Despite being a fictional character, Ippo inspires us to find those openings and opportunities. Adopt the Ippo mindset when you're working the bag. Many of us can relate to Ippo. No longer that shy kid and transforming into a relentless warrior, inspiring others both in fiction and reality with his style and his attitude in life, finding a passion and setting goals and achieving those goals with conviction. Even if you're not a boxer, that's a concept you can follow yourself. And maybe you can be incredible yourself, just like Ippo. Maybe not in that way. So I hope you enjoyed this video on how to move and hit like Ippo. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll make more content just like this. And if you have any ideas on characters I can cover next that inspire you, drop your ideas in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.